1, 2, 3.
Good
Good morning, teacher.
and
Morning, students. Good morning.
Good morning, student. Okay. I want to know who joined our class. The first, Johan. Johan absent. Okay. Pooh. Pooh. Are you? Okay. Thank you. I absent. Okay. Tan Tan. Tan Tan. Can you hear me? Okay. Present. Thank you. Leon.
Present.
Thank you. Porsche.
Present.
Thank you. Palm. Palm absent. Or maybe late. Okay. Jompon. Jompon. Jompon absent. ฉลาม ฉลาม absent. Who?
present.
Who? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. DJ. DJ don't join. Okay. Boss. Boss absent. Chain. Chain absent. Aidin.
Present.
Okay. Thank you. Turn on your camera. Okay. ปื้ม 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 absent. บูบู 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 absent. อิง
Present.
Thank you. น้ำหนึ่ง
Present.
Thank you. Mobile.
Present.
Mobile turn on your camera. เต็มฟ้า 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 maybe late โอเค แป้ง แป้ง absent โอเค ขวัญข้าว
Present.
Thank you. ข้าวหอม
Present.
Thank you. Jasmine.
Present.
Thank you. Apo. Apo absent. Yaya. Yaya. Yaya absent. Nania. Nania. Nania absent. รายได้
Absent.
Present.
Present.
Okay. Thank you. ช่อเอื้อง
Present.
นิ
Patience.
Thank you. Tennis. Tennis absent. นิชา
Present.
Thank you. Grape. Grape absent. Okay. Milk.
Present.
The last. หนูดี หนูดี Can you hear me หนูดี หนูดี Can you say present? Okay. หนูดี 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 present. Can you say? Oh, thank you. Thank you, student. Student, turn on your camera, please. Okay, let's go.
Okay, welcome back everyone to another occupation lesson. Now today we'll start with unit number 4, agriculture. And what does that show us? And what occupation does that teach us about? It teaches us about farming, how to do farming, and what different types of things we will need and types of information we need to know when we want to do farming of all sorts of different things. Okay, but agriculture mainly means farming of plants or fruits or edible substances. Okay, So we have this beautiful picture with our vocabulary. We have a couple of very big words. We'll have a look at them and their meanings. And we have a couple of small words, short words. We'll also look at their meanings. So let me first highlight all the words we're going to learn today. The first one we're going to learn is perennial. Then we have this very big word, which is chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum, which is also a different type of plant that you mostly find in Asia and not in other parts. We're going to look at foliage plants. We're going to look at hydroponics. We're going to look at the shrub and manure. Okay, so first things first, do some practice. Yes, some practice to get our brains working and our mouths working. And let's see if we can pronounce these words the way they should be pronounced. Okay, so are we ready? Yes. Are we ready? Yes, yes, yes. The first one we have to practice. So I will say the word and then you say it back to me. So you have to listen carefully. First one, perennial.
Everyone say together.
Yes, good. But a little bit louder so I can hear that pronunciation. Perennial. Okay, one more time. Last time, perennial.
Perennial.
Now, very good. Excellent. Now, perennial means plants that live more than 2 years. They live more than 2 years. These are perennial plants. They live more than 2 years. The next one, oh, let's try the big one. Let's try the big one. Chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum. Ooh. Let's hear. Okay, that sounds very good. So it's chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum. Okay, let's hear. Let's hear.
Students say all together, please.
One more time. Chrysanthemum. Excellent, excellent. Now, chrysanthemum is a type of plant you get in Thailand. It looks like the picture to the left. Now, it's also a plant that comes from Asia. It is an Asian plant. So you mainly find them in Asia or in North Europe, the chrysanthemums. Okay. The next one we have is foliage. Foliage. So let's listen carefully. Foliage.
Foliage.
One more time. Foliage.
Foliage.
So what does foliage mean? Well, it means the coverings of the leaves. So if a plant has good foliage, it means it covers a nice area with its leaves. So it provides a big area for photosynthesis to take place. Okay. The next one we have is hydroponics. Hydroponics.
Hydroponics.
Hydroponics. So P. Phonics is PH. Hydroponics.
Hydroponics.
Yes, one more time. Very good. Hydroponics.
Hydroponics.
Okay, excellent. Now, what does hydroponics mean? It means growing plants in water. So we can grow them in soil or we can grow them in water. In water, we get hydroponics. Hydro, which is a word that refers to water. So hydro meaning in water. So we're growing in water. The next one at the bottom right, left. a shrub. Shrub.
Shrub.
Shrub. Shrub.
Shrub. Shrub.
Very good, very good. Now a shrub is also a type of plant. It usually looks like these plants to the left. You'll find them in big gardens where people will spend hours trimming them to form shapes and form different like plant pictures, or almost like a type of plant statue that they will cut from the plant. Now shrubs grow very close together in a plant, so it's easy to make very small cuts to form a different shape of the plant. Okay, and the last one over here is on the right bottom is manure. Manure.
Manure.
Very good, very good. One more time. Manure.
Manure.
Excellent. Very good, you guys. What is manure? Now, manure is animal feces. So it is the excretion from the animals that they gather. So a very simple English word we call poop. A very easy word. Manure is the same as poop. Poop, which helps to fertilize the soil to make the plants grow even bigger and more beautiful. We use manure or poop to help fertilize them. Okay, so that's our vocabulary words for the day. Hope you can remember some of them. I know the top ones are quite difficult to remember, very big ones, but we can remember anything we want to. So this is also a topic that has a lot of the same information that we did in science, meaning we have flowering plants and fruiting plants and different types of plants. But let's see what is the differences when they talk about it in occupation. So, types of plants. Plants are living things that use sunlight to make their own food. So they don't move around like animals. They just stand there in the sun producing their own food. So, but planting is the process of putting plant seeds, bulbs or sprout in the soil and growing them up. We can put plants into two main groups: garden plants, crop plants. What is the difference? Now let's have a look quickly. Very important, because if you want to be a farmer one day, you need to understand the differences. So a garden plants are plants that people take care of in their garden. They need to be taken care of. For example, by preparing the soil for growing them in, fertilizing, watering, removing all the unnecessary plants. Now, gardening plants do not have any value usually for eating. It's only there to look nice and to look beautiful. Okay. So people use those plants for decorations in their home. Now the fruit plants, these are the ones farmers like the most because they provide us with food. So these are plants that grow fruits like the mangoes, the rambutans, the tangerines, pomelos, the durian and mangosteens. They all grow on different types of plants. Those are fruit plants that carry fruit for us to eat. Okay. So we also have different types of plants like we looked at in the past. We have the flowering plants. The flowering plants which provide beautiful flowers. They are usually garden plants because the beautiful flowers usually don't have fruits to eat. So some of the flowering plants are used for cut flowers that can be made into flower arrangements with, for example, roses, marigolds, the chrysanthemums, and orchids. So a lot of the times you see these small little necklaces or bracelets that people make from the flowers in Thailand, which they hang it in their car and they have some spiritual meaning to them. So those flowers are also part of the chrysanthemums type of plants. Very beautiful flowers, but not good to eat. Then you get foliage plants. Are those plants that are grown because they have a nice shape or have a colorful stems and leaves. Okay. Also has a big area usually for photosynthesis to take place. And then we have our vegetable plants. These are the ones which grow from different parts, and all of them are also a little bit different. We can get stuff like the lettuce, which is a leaf vegetable. We can get kale, morning glory, which are all leaf vegetables. But we can also get stuff like cucumbers and pumpkins, which are fruit vegetables. They are made into fruits. And there are some perennial vegetable plants too, such as stink bean, cha oom, acacia, sourpuss, and bergamot. Then the last one we can look at for growing is herbs. We all love some herbs. These are plants that give flavor to the food. Make it taste nice. Ooh, these are our thyme, our mint. We can also have ginger. We can have chilies, can also be part of our herbs. We can use stuff like tamarinds or borapets. So there's a lot of different herbs that we can use. Okay. And one of the most seen ones in Petschaboen, for example, is our crop plants. And the crop plants can be a number of different plants, but these are plants that grow in a certain season. So we have to plant every year new crop. So those are crop plants. And these can be stuff like the rice that you see all around Petschaboen, a lot of rice fields. You see some corn fields, sugarcane, beans, cotton, and cassava. Those are usually our main crop plants. Now, they call it a cash crop because usually when you finish your harvesting, you sell all of it. So you have a lot of money, but you don't have a lot of income in the future. Okay. So when planting, who of you has ever planted a plant from seed? Have you ever planted a plant from seed? If you have, put up your hand. If you've taken a seed and you've grown a plant from it, who has? Put up your hand. Let's see. Let's see. Is there some of you that have done that? Oh, okay. Can't see anyone. Can't see anyone. So when we become farmers, farmers are one of the most important jobs currently because they provide food. And in the world, we have a lot of food shortage, meaning people are hungry and they want to eat, but they can't always grow a lot of food. So farmers are one of the most important parts of our working force because they provide us with food. So how do we decide what are we going to plant? We need some knowledge. We need some understanding. So the first thing we have to look at is, do we use soil or do we use water? Soil is traditional planting or hydroponics. Two of them we can use. So you decide. If you have a small space, you can use hydroponics because you can farm on top of each other. When you farm in soil, you farm on a surface area. So it has to be big. It has to be big. Okay. So there are some general procedures to follow when growing plants in soil. First, we have to select seeds or the other parts of the plants that we can transplant. So the seeds are taken from fruits and needs to be healthy. They need to look healthy. So it's important to also look at the type of plant. Is the fruit ripe If the fruits ripe, the seeds are good to plant. We can also use cuttings that we looked at in science, where we cut a part of the stem and we plant that. And then we can also use tubers or roots in different propagation techniques for us to plant the plants perfectly. Now, if we decide, okay, I'm going to plant in soil. So they say, good, I have an idea. What do we need to plant in soil? Who can tell me? Give me 3 things we need when planting in soil and planting anything in soil. What do we need? Who can tell me? Let's hear. What do we need when planting in soil? Anyone who can tell me? Are you with me? Are you ready? Let's hear some answers. What do we need when planting in soil? I want 3 things. 3 things. Excuse me.
Can you say the question again, please? Can you repeat the question
What?
again, please?
Okay. Listen carefully. What do we need when we want to plant in soil? What do we need? Give me 3 things.
Water.
We need water, yes. What do you say, Leon?
Can I
Say, Leon, say again, please. I can't hear.
can I answer
Yes.
soil?
Soil, yes. Soil is the answer. We need soil, definitely. One of the most important.
Plant.
So we need water, we need soil, and we need plants. Yes. Those are the 3 most important ones in the beginning. Excellent. Look at you guys giving me the correct answers. Good job. Later on, we'll need some fertilizer or some compost or manure, and we'll need some other different things. Main important: water, soil, plants. That's it. Okay. So let's look at soil. What type of soil do we need? We need very good soil. Soil that is full of nutrients and microorganisms. So the process of getting the soil ready for planting, so that the plants grow quickly and provide good products. Different areas have different types of soils. So this needs to be taken into account when preparing soil. For example, how much manure or compost needs to be added to the soil? You should also think about convenience and cost. So, number 1, we need 1 unit of loose soil plus 1 unit of compost plus 1 unit of manure. That's what they are saying here. But if you have nice loose soil, it's already a good start. You don't want very sandy soil, because when it gets dry, the wind will just blow it away.
Yes, it dries so fast.
And it will dry very fast. Yes.
We need loamy.
That's the perfect word. Loamy soil. We need loamy soil. Now, loamy soil is just a name for type of soil, but how we get loamy soil is we take nice loose soil and we mix it with fertilizer and we mix it with some manure, compost, and then we add some more dead skin of fruits. We add in there all the fruit skins and vegetable skins, and we close it. And we let it sit there in the sun so that all those things can start breaking down. And the small bacteria can eat all the skin of the fruits and vegetables and produce more food. And that process we call composting. So that soil becomes alive. There's creatures living in there, and it becomes very good for planting, because the earthworms will help to eat the skins of the fruits, and they will become bigger and they move through the soil like little snakes, creating a nice, fresh, airy soil where the roots can easily spread and grow. So we need loamy soil, very good. So when we are planting, we also need seeds or cuttings. Now this method the method you use is up to you. Do you want the seed? Do you want the cutting or another part of the plant like the roots? You have to make sure that when you plant anything, it has to be in the soil and covered around with a little bit of soil, so that there is no air or sunlight that touches the roots, because if the sunlight touches the root is very sensitive. It just goes and die, and then your plant dies. Okay. And then the one thing we also need to do is we need to take care of the plants. You know, we don't just plant them and leave them. No, we go to them every day. We give them a little bit of water. Sometimes you even talk to the plant and tell him, please grow very big this year so I can eat you. You know, if you're like me, I like to talk to the plants when I grow them, because maybe they can hear my voice and listen to me and grow faster. So you have to take care of them. And the last one is watering, very important part of caring for plants. If you give too much water, it's bad. The plant will drown. It's like if you can drink 1 glass of water, you are good. But if you drink 20, you probably won't be able to. You will be there like, I don't want more water, feeling all sad and depressed because you have too much water. Now the plant feels the same. Too much water is bad, but too little water is also not good. So if you only give a tiny bit, the plant will be thirsty, and you will be there like, please, please, some water, please. So we have to make sure that we water properly. And let's look at what they say. So it's watering is the process of giving the right amount of water. It should be done maybe sometimes twice a day, once in the morning and one in the evening. Plants should not be overwatered, because it might damage their roots and kill them. They will drown. They will drown. Okay. So the big part of caring for your plants is over here. But we'll quickly run through it, because I don't want to spend too much time. We have 4 more points. I'll just explain what each means. Hoeing. Hoeing, number 2 is hoeing. Now, hoeing is breaking up the soil and mixing it with a tool. The tool is used, let me show you the picture quickly. Here, you see this lady on the right-hand side here. She is using what we call a hoe. This is the hoe right here. It's there to mix the soil and to make sure that you can make the soil all fully mixed, that the top soil and the bottom soil all get mixed up, so it's the best possible soil for the plants. That's basically what hoeing means. The next one is fertilizing. Fertilizing is adding in nutrients to the soil, either by adding compost, manure, or a chemical fertilizer. So it's giving food, extra food to the soil to feed the plant. Number 3 is weeding. Number 4, sorry, is weeding. Now, weeding is where we remove the unwanted ones that steal the water and the sunlight of the plant. We pull them out. Yeah, get out. We don't need them. Pull them out. And the 5 is pesticides. Why do we need pesticides? Because we want to eat the fruits. And if we don't use pesticides, the animals will eat them, especially birds and locusts. Okay, so those are the 5 we quickly have to look at. Is watering, hoeing, fertilizing, weeding, pesticides. Water to make the plant live, hoeing to make the soil rich and full of nutrients, fertilizer adding food to the soil, weeding, remove plants we do not want, pesticide, remove insects or animals we do not want. Okay, so next time we'll look at what happens when we finished growing and what happens when we start to harvest and how we can harvest effectively. Okay. So that is all for today's lesson. Let me find out if you guys can tell me what did we speak about today? What did we speak about today? Who can tell me? Who can tell me?
Plan.
Friend.
And we talk about plants. Yes, excellent. What else? What else? What occupation did we talk about? What type of job did we talk
about plants.
We talk about plants, yes, but what activity do we do with the plants?
Soil.
We need soil, yes, but what is the job that we talk about that we can use the information for? Starts with an F. Far what? Far what?
Power.
Flowers. We talk about flowers, yes, flowers, but what's the other word I want? Excellent so far, excellent so far. The next one we talk about, what's the job we have to do? Far what? Farming, that's the one. Farming on a farm. Excellent, good job, good job. Talked about farming and how and what we need to have when we want to farm with plants. Okay, so that's all that we talked about today. Very good. Everyone at least listen a little bit. So if you want to try and get revenge on teacher with rock, paper, scissors, now is the time. Now is the time. We have a couple of, I'll give you 15 seconds or so before we start. Let's see if you can beat me this time around. It's as always so skillful. If you don't have a camera or you cannot use one currently, write your answer in the chat and I will then tell you if you are right or wrong at the end. So here we go. Are we ready? Shake it, shake it, shake it. First, we make sure our fingers are nice and loose so we can know which one we're going to choose. Here we go, here we go. 1, 2, 3, shoot. Hey! We have one there. Who is winning? Only one. Is it only one? They're fast, only one. Congratulations, congratulations for beating teacher. Only one today. Anyone in the chat? Okay, Leon was with me with the scissor. Okay, good job, you guys. Good job. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys in a little bit in the afternoon for health class. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.